Welcome to Blonde Cards and Crafts. Let's make something together. To make this inside pop-up card. I was inspired to make this by a video that Jennifer McGuire made a couple of weeks ago and I really liked it. So let's get started. So the lovely polka dot paper here measures 4 by 6 and I'm going to layer that on some of the card that came, which is 4.5 by 6.5. And then those two will sit on our card, and I'm using a scalloped edge card and it measures 5 by 7. I liked the scalloped edge and I thought it'd be nice for this card. Now if you don't have one, you can cut a piece of card which measures 10 by 7 and score it at the 5. Then I'm going to put those two layers on top there, and then I'm going to take this doily, and it came in one of the kits we got a couple of months ago, and I'm going to sit that down, and then my surfboard with some 3M foam tape. I've left a bit of a gap at the top so it'll sit on over our red-haired girl, which has her tape on the back. It'll sit there like that, so I can put a little drop of glue on there as well to hold it in place. I'm going to sit them down on top of the doily, and it's near the bottom right hand side. It's not quite in the middle of the card. I have a little bow ephemera as well. I've taken this out and put some foam tape on the back of that too for her. I'm also going to use some of the sequins that we got in the kit this month as well. I have the epoxy stickers and I'm going to take one of those and put that inside. I've also die cut out this letter, this word smile. It's got a layer of white and 2 layers of the green. I've used a die set from Do Crafts. It's called Happy You. I've taken the smile from that and cut it out. There's 4 lovely dies in this pack and I hope to be able to link them down below for you. So the sentiment I'm going to use is the Hello Sunshine. I've taken some scraps so I can layer those together as well. And this ephemera camper van, I love it. I'm going to score this down the middle so it folds in half, and this is going to be the pop-up element inside our card. These 2 little pieces of cardboard make what looks like a letter 8, and they're going to go inside the card. Our little camper van is going to sit on those so that when we open and close the card, it'll look as if it's popping up. So when we fold over our card, it'll close like that, and when the ephemera piece is on it, they will then just pop up like this. I'll go into more detail on how to make this and how to place it on the card. I was inspired to make this by a video Jennifer McGuire had on her channel, and I'll put a link to that as well. But I thought this was a really cool idea, and with some of the ephemera we got in the kit, I thought this would be a great idea. So last but not least, I have some of the offcuts of the paper and some of the peel-offs, and I'm going to put that at the bottom there on the right hand side of our card. I'm going to glue that down, and I'm just showing you there the width of the peel-offs that I used in that. So it'll just, you know, tie the front of the card into the inside of the card using those scraps there. So now that's all our basic pieces that we're going to need. I'm going to show you how we make the little pop-up feature with the little pieces of card, and we'll go through how we make it and how we put it together. So in order to make this little pop-up piece inside, we're going to need 2 pieces of card, and I have already cut these out and ready to go. So our pieces of card need to be 3/4 of an inch wide, and they'll need to be 3 3/4 of an inch long. And then what we're going to do is score it every 3/4 of an inch. And you can do this on your scoreboard or on your cutter. I'm going to score this one piece on my cutter, and then the second piece I'll score on my scoreboard so that you can see. And it's pretty easy. It's just every 3/4 of an inch you want to put your score line. I'm just going to flip it over, make sure it's the right way round. So I'm scoring my first 3/4 of an inch, and then I'm going to turn my card around, and again using the inch mark on the right hand side, I'll bring it up to 3/4 of an inch and score, and then I can move it along putting my score line where the 3/4 of an inch mark is and score it down along. So some people might find that a little hard. I've seen some of the crafters doing it before I kind of got comfortable myself in my crafting. So it might be easier for some of you to see me doing it on the scoreboard. So we'll take our piece of card and we'll score every 3/4 of an inch. So we'll be scoring it at 3/4 of an inch, 1.5 inches, 2.25 inches, and 3 inches. There we go. So we have our 2 pieces of card, and what we need to do is fold them on the score line. And where we're going to stick them, you can either use your glue, you can use your red tape, your tear tape, whatever you want to secure them, but just know that you need to secure them really well so that they're not going to come apart. So I'm scoring them on the score lines, and where the first and the last little section are together, you're going to stick those down. So like I said, you can use tape. I'm going to use the tear tape here, and I'm going to put 2 pieces across here. So I'm going to speed this up a little bit because you don't want to be watching me trying to put tape on each end of these. But once we have our tape down on each of our pieces of card, we're going to take off the release paper. I'm going to use my little tool here to help me get the release paper off the tape itself. Then you're going to fold it over and put the other end on top, so you end up with a little box like this. I'm going to show you that again, but I'm going to do it at normal speed, so bear with me while I get the tape off. It can be so fiddly sometimes, and I find with the nails it can be hard to get it off. That's why this little tool is great. So we're going to take the end with our tape and the other end that has no tape on, and we're going to fold them over just like that, so that when you pop it down, it opens into a little square. And when you stick those 2 squares together, it looks like an 8, a boxy 8, but it looks like an 8. So we're going to need to put some tape onto the 2 parts here that we're going to stick together again. So we'll put some of our tear and tape down, and we just want it within the fold, so where the score lines are, we just want it on that one little area. So I have my tape down, and we'll just see if we can get the release paper off there. And I don't want to speed this part up because I want you to be able to see what I'm going to do. But like I said, you can watch Jennifer McGuire and see how she did it as well. So I'm bringing the 2 pieces together and then making sure they're nicely attached. And this is what's going to give us our pop-up. So we have the 2 here and the 2 there. Now I'm only going to use one of these, but I had one made already, and I thought maybe I should show you how I do this. We're also going to need to put tape then on these 2 pieces so that they will actually stick onto the card. But when I get to that point in the tutorial, you'll be able to see how I do it. But we have our little 2 squares of card, our little 8 piece. That's all ready to go. So now why don't I just speed it up? We'll get our card assembled. I'll do the front, and then once we get to the inside part, I will slow it back down and talk you through it again. So for a little while, talk to you in a moment. So I'm going to finally put some glue on the back of my smile die cut and stick that down. I have a little green heart that I punched out using one of the punches in my stash, and I've used some of my Nuvo sparkle pen on the front there. So now we're getting to the inside. So I'm going to take my ephemera piece, my little caravan, and fold it in half, and I'm going to attach it to the right side, the little square on the right. I'm going to glue that on to my piece. So I'm just looking to see how far up it needs to be and where it needs to be attached, and I have a fair idea. I'm kind of happy with that placement. So I'm going to take my Nuvo glue and I'm going to put some Nuvo glue on the little square to the right. Don't go past where the two squares join, you just want it on that one little square. And I'm going to take my ephemera piece and I'm going to match where my fold is on the ephemera piece to where those two squares are together. So I'm just gluing the right side to the ephemera piece. And you can see there when it's folded over, it's right up. So I'm happy with that now. I'm pressing down so that the glue will, stick. It does take a little bit longer, but for videoing, this is going to be fine. I'm going to put some more glue now on the little square to the left, and then I'm going to pinch that onto the ephemera piece so it's held tight. And if any of the glue leaks out, make sure that you wipe it off, but if you're using tape for this part, it'll be perfect. So I'm happy with that now. We just need to put some glue on the two little squares behind them. So I'm only going to put glue on one square first. I'm going to stick that one down onto the card and I'm going to butt it right up against the score line there in the middle. So I'm putting it down where I need and I'm bringing it right over to the score line and closing the card over so it'll be glued to the bottom. Now my glue, it's not adhering properly, so my mechanism keeps moving a bit, but I think I have it now. It's nicely stuck down, so when I close the card, it's closed right into the score line. So now I'm going to put some glue on the little square that's left there, just along the square, and then I'm going to close over my card again and apply some pressure down. I want to make sure that that adheres nicely. I'm using the block to put a little bit more pressure on it. So if you're using glue, leave it a while, but here you go, through the magic of editing, there's our card and there's our little pop-up section, all nice and ready. So I'm just using my tweezers to add a little pressure and make sure it's well adhered down, and it is. So that's how it looks when you open the card. The ephemera piece stands out from the actual card piece itself. And let's have another look. Isn't that clever? Look at that. Open and close and it pops up. That little paper mechanism and not a die in sight. So that's it. You can see the ephemera piece. It sits proud of the inside of the card. So I'm just going to take the strips of the matching paper from the front. I'm going to put a little Nuvo glue on the bottom of this, and then I'm going to put that on the inside bottom right of our card. So when you open the card, you can see the papers on the front are continued on into the papers in here. Now I'm going to stick down the Hello Sunshine epoxy sticker. This pack of stickers came in the kit this month and they're absolutely lovely. So I'm going to try and get that nice and straight and centered. There we go, that looks about right. I'm going to press down hard because the pressure on that will help it stick down really well. Now I've got some leftover green card that came in the kit that I've used for my mats on the front and on the inside, and I'm going to take a little punch I have in my stash. This punches out a little heart and it's about 1/4 of an inch by 1/4 of an inch. But I'm going to pop out about 6 of these little hearts and I'm going to put 5 of them on the inside. It's always handy to have an extra one just in case. We did put a little heart on the front of the card right after the smile. So I figured I would punch out some more and put them in the inside, and that would continue with the continuity of the card. So I'm going to use my Nuvo glue. I'm going to pop one just to the left of the hello in the hello sunshine. I'm going to pop one underneath the shine part of the sunshine, and then 3 to the left of the little caravan. So that's more or less our card done. As I said, I was inspired by Jennifer McGuire. She made, a couple of weeks ago, she made a couple of cards using this little inside pop-up mechanism that I don't know whether she designed it herself, but I know this lady is an engineer, so it wouldn't surprise me. And when I saw the big piece of ephemera, the camper van, I just knew that I wanted to do that with that piece of ephemera. So now, before I finish up, I'm just going to put some of the sequins that came in the kit randomly around the front of the card. I'm going to sprinkle them on. So I'm going to put 3 sequins to the top right, 2 to the bottom left, and then 1 to the bottom right. Just so that when the card hits the light, you can see all the sparkle from the Nuvo pen that we put on the smile and the little heart, as well as the ephemera bow and the little surfboard. All that little sparkle. It's really subtle, but I think it's really nice. So that's it. I would like to thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, I would love for you to give it a thumbs up, hit the like button. If you're a subscriber, thank you so much for subscribing, and if not, maybe you might consider hitting the bell down there and becoming a subscriber, so that when I do post more videos, you'll be notified that I have a new video up. I'd like to thank Lizzie for a great kit this July. It really is a fantastic kit. I really do love it. I've enjoyed the 3 cards that I've made so far. Normally I would make 10 cards and put it all up as one video, but because I'm doing, interactive cards, I thought I would give them a video each. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, I'm going to leave you with a couple of photographs, images of the card itself. So until next time, bye for now.